Good evening, students. Today we are going to discuss a few questions related to the chapter of electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is a very important chapter considering your JEE Mains and your JEE Advanced. Each and every year, at least one question comes from the concept of electrochemistry, and the chapter in itself is a highly scoring chapter. Electrochemistry is taught in the class 12 syllabus under the supervision of physical chemistry. The questions coming from electrochemistry also involves certain few concepts coming from the chapter of ionic equilibrium. So let us try to understand what the question means and how to approach and solve them. So the first question which we are going to discuss today is given as, we have to calculate the redox potential of a copper plus 2 to copper redox couple at pH which is given as 14, given that the solubility product of copper hydroxide is 10 to the power of minus 19 and the standard redox potential of copper ion is given as 0.34 volt at temperature 298 Kelvin. Now if you look at this question, this is a beautifully constructed question which involves the concept of solubility product. Let us try to understand how to do it. The first thing is, given that the pH is given as 14, I can state that my concentration of H plus is 10 power minus 14. As soon as I say that my H plus is concentration is given as 10 to the power minus 14, I can apply the ionic product of water, which is H plus into OH minus. We all know the Kw of water as minus 14, but that value is only correct at the temperature of 298 Kelvin. If the temperature is not mentioned as 298 Kelvin, we cannot use the ionic product of water as 10 power minus 14. Once we have the Kw of water and the concentration of H plus, we can find the concentration of OH minus, which comes out as 1 molar. Once we look into the KSP of your copper hydroxide, I can say the copper hydroxide solid dissociate into its respective ions, which is copper plus 2 in aqueous state and hydroxide ion in aqueous state. KSP is defined as the concentrations of the respective ions, that is both cation and anion, each raised to the power of their stoichiometric coefficient at equilibrium. So if I want to write KSP at equilibrium, I can say that my OH minus concentration was 1 molar, which we found it from the earlier stage. Through this, I can find the concentration of copper plus 2. So copper plus 2 comes out as 10 to the power of minus 19. If I look at the redox reaction which is occurring, that is copper plus 2 in aqueous state is accepting the electrons to become copper in solid state. Now we can take the help of the Nernst equation, which correlates the reduction potential with standard reduction potential in terms of temperature and concentration. So we can write the reduction potential of copper plus 2 to copper is nothing but the standard reduction potential of copper plus 2 to copper minus RT by NF ln of 1 by concentration of copper plus 2 ion. If you look at closely, in the reaction question, I have not taken the concentration of copper solid, because the concentrations of solid is taken as 1 in terms of reaction quotient. So if I just substitute the values of your copper plus 2 ion, the concentration being 10 power minus 19, the R, T and F represents the gas constant, the temperature and the Faraday's constant. So if I just substitute these values, I can generate my redox potential at a given concentration and temperature. Now this is a beautifully constructed question which not only involves Nernst equation but also involves the solubility product. So such type of questions are very easy to find in your JEE Mains, and that is how the questions will be constructed. They will try to merge up the questions coming from both ionic equilibria as well as your electrochemistry. I hope this question has made it more easier for you to approach such type of questions in the future. Let us move on to the next question. The next question involves the hydrogen electrode which is immersed in a solution of pH 0. We have to calculate by how much does the reduction potential change if an equivalent amount of NaOH is added so that the solution becomes neutral. they are given the value of partial pressure of hydrogen gas as 1 atmosphere and the temperature as 298 Kelvin. Now before we approach the question, let us try to imagine what is happening in the question. Initially we have a hydrogen electrode which is consisting of H plus at concentration of 1 molar. Now how am I saying the concentration is 1 molar? It's because my pH is given as 0. Once the solution becomes neutral, I can say that my H plus concentration has become 10 power minus 7. Again, I can say this concept only because my temperature is given as 298 Kelvin. We all know at 298 Kelvin of a neutral system, that is a neutral water, my pH is equal to 7. So again, if I write down my redox potentials, that is H plus accepting an electron to form hydrogen gas, I can again utilize the help of Nernst equation in order to construct the relation between the redox potential and the standard redox potential, which I can write as E of Rp is equal to E naught of SRP minus 0.059 by N log of partial pressure of hydrogen gas by H plus concentration whole square. Now, how did this constant term of 0.059 came? This is simply coming by substituting the values of RTF along with converting your ln into log. The value of R is constant, the value of T here is 298, the value of F is constant, and when we convert your ln into log, we multiply it by a factor of 2.303. So if I substitute all those values, I can find my redox potential initially was coming out as 0 volt. Simply the term being my concentration of H plus was 1 molar. If I go ahead and if I try to find the redox potential at the final stage means at the point when my NaOH has been added so that my solution has become neutral. At that point, my concentration of H plus will be 10 power minus 7. So again, if I substitute that value, I'll get the redox potential to be minus 4.4137. So now it's just a case of finding the change, which we can write it as final minus initial or initial minus final. I am writing in terms of initial minus final, by which I can say that my redox potential got increased by a factor of 0.4137 volts. Now this is one of the concepts which has been identified and it's your JEE paper related to the application of Nernst equation 2 times in order to find the change in reduction potential. Let us go back to another question. Okay, this question is a very important question because it correlates your electrochemical potential with that of your Gibbs free energy along with the formation constant, that is your K equilibrium, okay, or your equilibrium constant. So the question is, at a given temperature of 298 Kelvin, the equilibrium constant for the reaction, that is your zinc plus 2 aqueous, reacts with your ammonia to form a complex for which my K equilibrium is given as 10 power minus 9. Now, if the redox potential of the zinc complex being reduced to zinc and ammonia is minus 0.103 volt, we have to find the reduction potential of zinc plus 2 to zinc. If you are able to see here, I have represented it with a knot. Knot means we are using the standard reduction potentials. Now, there is no way to equate your E naught with that of K equilibrium, but we can take the help of Gibbs free energy in order to make sure they become equated. So as you can see, I have written the first reaction, that is zinc plus 2 is reacting with 4 moles of ammonia to form the complex whose K equilibrium is given as 10 to the power of 9. I can write my delta G for the same process as minus RT ln K equilibrium. Now this is a relation which correlates your K equilibrium with your Gibbs free energy. And how we came to this part, we would have come across this in your chemical equilibrium chapter, if you just refresh up your mind. The second equation is the zinc complex which is being reduced to form your zinc in metallic state and your ammonia, whose E naught value is given as minus 1.03 volts. Again, I can write my delta G for the process as minus NF E naught cell, where E naught cell is given as minus 1.03. the equation which we require to find the potential is zinc, which is being oxidized to zinc plus 2 and 2 electrons. Okay. So I can get my equation 1 in terms of taking the opposite of equation 2 and subtracting it from equation 3. Okay. How we can do this? We are doing this by rearranging your delta G's. Now Gibbs free energy is additive or subtractive, but E naughts or your K equilibriums are not additive or subtractive. Okay. How do we say that? Because delta G is an extensive property. Only extensive properties can be added up or subtracted. Intensive properties cannot. Okay. So once we have done that, we can equate the delta G of the first compound as your minus RT ln K equilibrium, which is equal to the equation 2. That is the second equation is opposite part. That is plus of 2F into 1.03. And the equation for the third cell will come out as 2F into E naught. So once we have done this, we can calculate the total ratio by putting in the respective values and finding out the redox potential of the zinc to zinc ion. Now, if you look at the calculations, yes, electrochemistry involves a lot of calculations, but the way of utilizing the reactions, the way of utilizing the concepts is very easy. So through these 3 questions, I have tried to make sure to understand the concepts which are related to your Nernst equation, which are related to your neutralization reaction, and which are related to the Gibbs free energy. I hope from these 3 questions, your concepts related to the electrochemistry, to the solubility product, to the Gibbs free energy have become much more understandable. Thank you.